Well, people at the top. But here's the thing. Charlotte will tell you this. When they stopped calling prostitution, and they started calling it sex trafficking, I said, Charlotte, they're doing that to cover the statistics on child sex trafficking. So now everything's sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh
so if
my
you go and
God.
you pick up
Yeah.
a dime whore, you're if you get convicted of that, you're going to be convicted of sex trafficking. What's that, Sarah?
I just like that. I don't know. Like that just clicked in my head. Like, wow. Like that's such a good point. Where you bring like a consensual, like a woman who's consensually like going along with it across state lines. That's sex trafficking. And so like you get a spike in sex trafficking, but then it makes it seem less bad because it's like, oh well, a lot of that's probably consensual stuff going on, so it's really not something to be concerned about.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they're exactly on that.
And if somebody like her cannot raise enough awareness, help us find my niece, what chance does it give somebody that, doesn't have that kind of voice or any influence?
So yeah, and that's it. So the point I'm making is like the movie that we watched where they went down into Central America and retrieved a kid that was stolen.
Sound of
That one
Freedom.
was
Yeah.
that one was stolen from the United States, right?
Yeah.
No. So what was going? Wait, was it? I can't remember. All I can remember was he wanted to go after the people who were making the child porn, which that's usually family members who's involved in that, but I can't remember the exact plot of it.
Yeah, it seems like to me they were brought to the United States. I can't remember. I'm getting two movies confused, I think. But they're supposed to be true stories. Here's what I guess I've not. It's one of those things where I don't like thinking about it, and I told Charlotte I have to think about it every day. And that's what's good about those movies is it makes me think about it. And it's going on. It has to be going on because it's always going on. In other words, I don't think the United States is exempt from bad people. They're there, and I have no doubt that a bunch of them are in government. All right, I have no doubt about that. But I can't really figure out. Obviously, it's if it's going on in Ruston, I can't imagine it because we would. You know what this little town would do if a child went up missing? You know what I'm saying? And so, and I don't think that we're importing them here. I don't think that anybody's in Ruston is that now they may have people who are looking at child porn, but they're not important, and they're like Sarah said, they're not. Your family's almost got to be involved if they're making the movies. So is it importing these kids from other countries? Is that what's going on?
So that's kind of what confuses me because like about this whole embassy thought. If I had to guess, it would be part of a transnational situation where it's usually kids taken from third world countries, or like you think about unfortunately for the pretty women there, but Eastern Europe, they're highly trafficked. But
Yes.
I could easily see, if we're going to theorize something, that it would be basically used for the flow of goods, not necessarily let's take them from the United States, because that's not what you usually see. Again, like whenever you deal with trafficking in the U.S., it's usually, again, like either family members, or you get a young pretty girl who is from like a bad upbringing and she gets caught up in the wrong crowd, and it usually starts consensual and ends with her doing prostitution. Yeah, but as far as like what you see with Sound of Freedom, so what was going on with there is it was children from a third world country. That's what the plot was about. That he was watching this, the porn guy was watching it, had the option, I think, to maybe buy them or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and then he goes to the actual country to try to track down like what's going on with these kids.
That was kind of his penance. I remember that he
Mm-hmm.
he went and bought all these children and freed